Hello, this is Keith and welcome to Home Media Minefield Unboxing, helping you with information to navigate the complexities of home cinema and home media entertainment. And for today's episode, I'm looking at the 4K UHD that was released this week by Arrow Video of Flatliners, which is a 1990 psychological horror film directed by the late great Joel Schumacher, produced by Michael Douglas, and starred, after he was a lost boy but a decade before he was Jack Bauer, Kiefer Sutherland, supported along with Julia Roberts, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt and Kevin Bacon. And I have to say, this has always been, it's one of those films that's not talked about a great deal, but has actually always been a favourite of mine. I really enjoyed this film. I liked the style of it. I liked the themes and the philosophy behind this film, and there are some great lines in it, such as everything we say and do in life matters. And I just think, yeah, it's a fun psychological horror, but it's got some other meanings to it. It's basically about some medical students who attempt to find out what lies beyond death by conducting secret experiments that produce near-death experiences. And that's really all I want to say about it, because I wouldn't want to spoil this for anyone that hasn't seen it and is thinking of checking it out. So just to give a little bit of history with regards to the home media release of this, I had this back on DVD back in the day. I'm not sure if it was the late 90s or the early 2000s that it first came out on DVD, but just a little bit of sort of DVD history. This is one of the few titles, I managed to dig it out because I've always loved this film, that came packaged in what they call a jewel case, which essentially was very similar to a CD case, but just a taller CD case to fit the format of the DVD disc. I don't think that's actually focusing on that, which is annoying. But yeah, what happened was before everything with DVD moved over to the regular Amaray Keep case type packaging, there were experiments by different distributors with different types of packaging. So Columbia TriStar, who distributed this film, as I said, they went very early on with this kind of, as I said, dual CD type packaging, only in the DVD format, whereas like Warner Brothers went with the cardboard snapper type cases, and it was sort of before the industry standardized on the cases that they did. So as I said, I had it like this on DVD back in the day, and the picture disc there, and that's just a bit of a history lesson there as to how they used to be packaged. Obviously back then it was a widescreen presentation and it had a 5.1 audio track, but the only special features it had on it was a theatrical trailer. So there was no special features on this early release. In fact, it wasn't even Dolby 5.1. Look at that, it was just Dolby Surround. So obviously this is going to be a huge upgrade. A couple of things to point out though, this is available on both 4K UHD, which is what I've got here, the 4K Ultra, but it's also available on Blu-ray. And it seems that, well, for a while now, Arrow with their releases have stopped doing dual releases where you get both the 4K UHD and the Blu-ray disc. You either buy one or the other. It's a bit like what happened with Blu-ray when it first came out, and it used to be packaged for some time with a DVD copy, and they went across to just Blu-ray. As I said, this, something you have to look out for is the 4K Ultra HD HDR sticker, because to be honest, packaging wise, they're quite difficult to tell the difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K. And I made this mistake a few months back with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which was starring and directed by Kenneth Branagh and had Helena Bonham Carter and Robert De Niro in it. And I bought the Blu-ray without actually realising that there was also, for about £5 more here in the UK, you could get the 4K Ultra, and it's not always obvious from the packaging. But anyway, on the note of packaging, let's get this open. So get the trusty knife and have a look at what we've got here. So another thing noticeable is this Arrow have not done a deluxe version of this. And what I mean is, with some of these Arrow unboxings that I do, they come in a box with a poster and some art cards and booklets and things of that nature. This, unfortunately, I'd have loved it if it had had that treatment, but it doesn't look like they've done it. Now, I'm sure that's to do with budgets and return on investments, and no doubt probably licensing as well with regards to the rights and whatever for pictures. So, but having said that, even though they've not done a lot with package contents, they have done a huge amount with special features on this. So let's just, before we go into that, so as you can see, now I've got the shrink wrap off. It's got a nice matte finish, although there is some glossy bits there on the Flatliners and the pulse meter and stuff there on that side. And then on the spine again, this slipcase is matte apart from the title there. You've obviously got Arrow Video logo at the top. That's the same on both sides. And then on the back, we've got the tagline. Some lines shouldn't be crossed, which I always thought was good. A little bit of blurb about the film and who's involved in it. But then as far as the special features go, as I said, it's quite good because this is a brand new 4K restoration from the original negative, approved by director of photography Jan de Bont, who obviously went on to be a director himself on future films like Speed, etc. Even if you get the Blu-ray version, that will obviously still be taken from the same 4K restoration from the original negative. But obviously, this being the 4K UHD, you get the 2160p picture, and it's presented in Dolby Vision, which is HDR10 compatible, so that's great. You get the lossless DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and the 2.0 surround track like was on the original DVD that I showed. You get a new commentary on this. You also get Conquest of Our Generation, which is a video interview with the screenwriter. You get Visions of Light, which is an interview with the director of photography Jan de Bont, so that's great. Hereafter, a brand new interview with first assistant director from the film. Restoration, a brand new video interview with the production designer. Atonement, a brand new video interview with composer James Newton Howard, so that's great. And Dressing the Character, a brand new interview with the costume designer Susan Becker. And then you also get the theatrical trailer and the image gallery on this, so that's fantastic. As I said, we've also got this new artwork, but as well as that cover art, I believe you have reversible sleeve on this, which has the original like the theatrical poster, very much like I showed you on the DVD earlier. So there we go, there's the original poster publicity still with our 5 lead characters there and the tagline and the same information on the back. So you've got that option, which is nice, as well as the obviously the matte slip case that it comes with. So that's fantastic. Oh, the other thing, that's just a little bit of Arrow advertising of some other bits and pieces. But the other thing, and this is only on the first pressings, you get a illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writings on the film, which is this, which I'm glad I've got. Now, obviously, if you buy this soon, you're likely to get this, but it's only going to be on first pressings. It's probably it'll be when they do it without the slip cover as well, I would imagine, that they stop putting this in. But this is quite nice. I quite like this sort of graphic artwork on there. And we've got contents. We've got the cast and crew, Land of the Almost Dead, Flatliners, an historical overview, should I say, of the near-death experience. See you soon. The surprising spirituality of Joel Schumacher's Flatliners. Oh, there you go. People agree with me then. And stuff about the restoration. So there we go. So it's the cast and crew. And oh good, we've got some photography in there as well as these interviews, or these essays, should I say. And this really was a great film. It works really nicely as a standalone film, although it is fair to mention that in 2017 there was another film, I guess, in the, if you want to call it a franchise. I have to say I only really saw it the once when it came out, and I wasn't too impressed with it because it didn't really know whether it was a remake, whether it was a sequel, whether it was a reboot. It was one of those films that had some good people involved, but it didn't really, in my opinion anyway, work and sort of live up to this one. So I tend to think of this as a standalone film, and it is a standalone story. So, and there's another quote from it: "Today is a good day to die." So that's fantastic, and that slips nicely in there. And then, as I said, with this you get either the 4K UHD like this one is, or you get the Blu-ray, depending on what you go for. As I said, you'll spend a little bit more money on the 4K, but obviously this is Dolby Vision HDR as well on this, so of course it's better from that point of view. Yeah, as I said, you've seen it's a reversible sleeve, and it's got quite a lot of bonus features on the disc. I'm saddened that they didn't do a deluxe version with a poster and art cards and whatever, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. I'm grateful that this film has come out, and I'm looking forward to rewatching this and watching all of the bonus material. So there you go, Flatliners from 1990, available this week on Blu-ray and 4K UHD from Arrow Video. So I hope you found this information useful and helpful. If you did, then please do consider giving this video a like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if this is your sort of thing, and if you hit the bell icon, you'll get notified as and when new content drops. Basically, this channel is all about physical media, collecting films on physical media, so that's DVD, Blu-ray and 4K UHD, as well as the technologies around it. If you've got any questions about this or anything else, then please do put that in the comments section below, and I will try and answer that. And please obviously find us on social media as well at Home Media Minefield. I also do video streams, live streams, that sort of thing about film and television topics. So yeah, please check us out and spread the word. But for now, I thank you for your time, and I shall speak to you at the next Home Media Minefield. Bye for now.